Alright, this part two, and I'm gonna start. After I finished off, I started with Cherokees. I went to the Chickasaw. Now I'm gonna deal with the Creeks. All right. Now these are modern day Creek Indians. This is actually a powwow. All right. Now look, let me see these. Now these is Creek Indians right here. Okay. See these people? These is who they consider to be Creeks. All right, now if you look at some of these people, they look European. They look, you can't even tell their ethnicity what they are. They don't look like Asians, but yet they don't look like Negro. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, remember, always. I'm gonna keep going back to the Smithsonian Institute. All right, say modern Native Americans closely resemble people of China, Korea, and Japan. It don't say nothing about no Europeans. It don't say modern Native Americans resembling Europeans. Okay, they telling you in this that they resemble Chinese, Korean, or Japan. Say, but the old skeleton do not. All right, so this is anthropologists and paleontologists. They are saying this. It's saying a small number. So they're saying that. Remember, they're saying that two types of phenotypical people here: Chinese, Korean, Japanese that look like modern Native American, and African, Australian, South Pacific. The first Americans, which are the Aborigines. So if you're looking at these tribes like this, and this is just one of the shots. I'm gonna get into the rest of them. All right. This is just this. I'm being generous with this picture right here. You see this one? All right. Now let's deal with some of these other people. Now let's say scare roots. Now these people think they indigenous too for some reason. You understand? And that's the more crazy, sinister part. Now look, it's a North Bay Creek Indian village. All right. This is a North Bay veterans powwow. Do you see these people? Do you see how ridiculous these people look? So okay, all right. So let's go back to what the Smithsonian Institute said. Modern Native American. So I would assume that this would be a modern Native American, right? Okay, but she don't resemble even what they said that they look like. Okay, Chinese, Koreans, or Japanese. Okay, they ain't gotta look exactly like them, but just giving you an idea that they're not European. None of these two, James Chatter and the Smithsonian Institute, didn't say nothing about no Europeans found here on this land. It shows you that was it this article right here? It shows you right here. Yeah, it shows you in this article right here. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna keep resorting back to what it says. It says the Northeast culture area, one of the first to have sustained contact with Europeans. Okay, where did they say the creek was originally from? The creek is from it. Well, I say northeast, but I guess if you want to consider, let me see something. Remember, if you want to go that far out, remember this is Maryland right here. So next state will be Virginia. Okay, Virginia South. So these will be your north, southeast tribes. All right. So now it's telling you. So where did these Creek Indians come from? Okay, where did they come from? Look, let me see. Look how ridiculous these people look. Well, these South Dakota, this is a totally different nation. These are the Mongoloids. I'm not taking no claim. Well, they say Crow Creek, Dakota. See what I'm saying? These tribes merged into these other tribes with these Mongoloids or whatever, and then the ones. Remember, keep in mind, your people wasn't on that planet. Your people wasn't on that Indian territory. Some of your people was, but the people who was, the real Aborigines at that point in time, they was calling them freemen, because remember, if you submitted, they was allowing you to work. When we see these pictures, for loading time soon. All right, there you go. All right, so when they show you these images right here, and these is just basics right here. Once you understand that, like, you know what I'm saying, the template of the South Indian is Powhatan. That is the template of the South Indian. Okay, until they show me otherwise or whatever, the people who were smoking the tobacco, I assume, were the people who was mining it as well. Okay, so they show you the images. You know, I've showed you all these images thousands of times. But when it comes to these particular images, people get confused. People get confused with these images right here because they assume that these are slaves, black slaves. Now remember, how are we identifying these slaves? Because they telling you that some of these slaves was Indian at the same time. Oh, this shit taking forever. Excuse me. I'm gonna come back to that. They telling you that some of these slaves was Indian slaves, and they telling you some of these slaves was African slaves. At the same time, they had Indian slaves, and at the same time, they sent the Indians to the Caribbeans. Okay, now like I said, where do these people come from? Look at these guys right here. So these are Indians. Let's go back to what? Let's go back to the experts, the Smithsonian.com. Okay, these are the experts. These are the people who have the archaeologists and the paleontologists. James Chatter. Okay, modern Native American closely resemble. It don't say some. It say modern Native American, so it's classifying all Native American to closely resemble Chinese, Korean, and Japanese, right? But where did these people come from? You understand? Now, remember, the Creek and all that was, when we dealing with the Creek, the Creek is all up in here. This is the Creek all up in here. And some of the Seminoles are the Creeks. That's what I believe. All of them are all up in here. South Carolina, all up in here, all up in this region. Because I believe some of the Creek are also the Gila and the Gitche, which a lot of them people, they telling you that they were slaves. Now, when they tell you free runaway slaves, remember, we got to look at the date line to see what year was they labeled free runaway slaves. It had to be years after they was enslaving you, because it's telling you right here. And like I said, this is a simple research. I'm going by what they saying. I don't even have to, I'm just going by what they saying, and I'm bending it. Okay, it says this is a Pequot War, 1637. This was probably 32 years after they arrived in Jamestown. Remember, 1605. It said the death of the colonists eventually led to immolation of 600 to 700 natives. The remainder were sold into slavery in Bermuda. Okay, you don't see no Indians in Bermuda. You don't see no people. The only way you see these people because they are Europeans that come in there to take their land. Now look how ridiculous this shit looks, man. You see how ridiculous this shit looks? Now look, even Verrazano said the people look like Saracens. Their hair black and thick. Okay? It says they are very great. It said that it says they are well featured in their limbs. Their average statue are commonly somewhat bigger than we. So I imagine when you say than we, he's talking about Europeans, broad-breasted, strong arms. Okay, so where did these ridiculous-looking people arrive from? Okay, now look, some more ridiculous-looking people. Now these people got Negro in them. Believe it or not, you can look at them and tell. You can look at them and tell they got Negro in them. And you can look at some of these people and tell the ones who do got Negro in them. Not this guy right here. Look, oh God, this is ridiculous, man. Yo, I'm telling you, I've seen some crazy things in my life, man. But some of these things just get ridiculous. Now look, this is a Mongoloid in the South Northeast tribe. We know there was no Mongoloids in the South Northeast tribes until they started mixing in after the Trail of Tears. And I believe that a lot of them did that on purpose too, to mix in with the original 5 civilized tribes, because they know them Navajo and them Mohawks and all them Indians that are out there, they not part of the 5 civilized tribes. So that's the reason why a lot of them probably mixed in with them to claim their status. Meanwhile, the original the Aboriginal, five civilized tribes already been classified and Christianized and already been labeled and classified as Negro. So they broke these statuses up to fool you. So when you see when you see a Negro, like, all right, they knew what a full-blooded Negro looked like. They knew what a Negro looked like that had European in them. They knew what a mulatto looked like, and they knew what these people looked like. And they used all these classifications against us to tell you that the people that you see like this, right? Now I'm gonna relate back to this, right? Now, 3 seconds, guys. I want to pick the picture I'm looking for. I'm using this because this is what they said. Native American in Europe. Now you see this guy, you will assume that this was an African. Well, why would an African be wearing Aborigine culture with the bow and arrow and the feather crown or whatever? Now I know that's reaching, but that ain't the only picture I got, y'all. You already know how this shit goes. Okay, look at the Inca. Now this is them. This don't look like no damn. This don't look like this guy. This don't look like none of these people. You understand what I'm saying? So like I said, remember, we refer back to this. Modern Native American closely resemble Chinese, Korean, Japanese, but the older skeletons do not. So they want us to think that these people that is say which are the Aborigines, because they speculate saying this has led to speculation that perhaps the first American. So they telling you that Native Americans was not the first American, but yet they telling you that the images that they found closely resemble Africans, Australians, and South Pacific. I believe that they broke these phenotypical group of people up so they could identify. So if they identify people who look like Africans, because some would say Africans look a little bit like Australians, and you would say South Pacific look just like both of them. All right, so you will make the person who's like James Chatter, he would be smart enough to know that they were these phenotypical people. They wasn't Indians from India. They wasn't Europeans, because he a European and he would have said it. Okay? Okay, it says, this has led to speculation that perhaps the first Americans and Native Americans came from different homelands. Chatter continued, or migrated from Asia at different stages. Now, when they throw you off, when they say, oh, migrated from Asia at different stages, because some people believe that the people who live in Africa did not originate there. They originated in out of Asia and came out of Asia. That will probably explain. Now, this is just a theory. This is not actual. We're gonna find no straight guideline to this anyway, so we might as well start trying to come up with something that will explain why you seen black Chinese people or the original people with Chinese. How did they go from Chinese to being the way they look? They had to somehow come in contact, or maybe it was experiments, but that's a whole nother story. Okay, but it's telling you. It's a perhaps the first Americans. So they're not saying the first Americans look European, because there's only but so many phenotypical people on the planet. So this is the guideline what we have to use as so-called educated individuals. Okay, these are the people from Asia, China, Korean, Japanese, and all the other ones in South Asia and all the other ones or whatever, right? These would be considered the Asians. These would be considered the Negroes, or Australianoids. They classify as certain, along with the South Pacific. South Pacific don't call itself Negroes, but they look like Negroes. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't even want to pull none of the pictures up. They got plenty of images for you guys to look. You guys do the research on that, all right? But it's telling you right here that the first Americans was Aborigine. That's the reason why they don't use this term Aborigine with Native Americans, because they know they can't call this guy an Aborigine. They can't. Well, they look like Hispanics. Fuck it, they Hispanics. The Hispanics that they found, or the Mongoloids that they found, and like after the Trail of Tears that they put on this Indian territory with the rest of these Indians, they found that the 5 civilized tribes are the original tribes in which they found, because it shows you right here. It would say, it says the Northeast Culture Area, one of the first to have sustained contact with Europeans. All right, I'm gonna moving on to this one. All right, so we dealt with Seminoles. All right, so I'm gonna put in regular Seminoles. I'm not even gonna put in black Seminoles. I'm gonna put the regular Seminoles in. All right, so this is the guy they always give you. This guy, like they always try to give you this guy who looked like he's Native American, but you can obviously tell that he's European. If this person even existed, all right. Now they give you more of these people, all right. Now let's say Seminole Indians, all right. I don't even believe these Seminole Indians. I believe this is lies. I don't believe that, because, like I said, unless they came from the Spaniards. Because remember, the Spanish did come to Florida. So remember, they might have had a small amount of people, but they probably are the offsprings of the original Aboriginal Seminoles. All right. So let me see. All right. So look. So boom. So they're trying to show you these people. All right. Look. Seminole Indians today. Say, look, it say Seminole Indians today. Look at these people. Now these people look like they Mongoloid descent. If you ask, I bet you if you ask these people, they would tell you that they also got another tribe. Okay, because look how this guy's dressed. Look how this guy's dressed. Look how he's dressed. When you look at the original tribes, man, these are basically the templates of what these people looked like, what they was wearing. Even though that they're drawings and everything, but you gotta the individual gotta be smart enough to understand, man, that a lot of this stuff, man, they will show you right here. They got maps, man. Look at America. This is West Indies. Look, you got the same thing on. Now you see this right here when they showed you some of them. Let me see. I don't want to even get into that right there. No, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm not even gonna say nothing about that. I'm gonna keep it moving, doing what I'm doing. All right. So look. These are other say Seminoles. All right. So now look, these aren't no fucking Seminoles. Now look, these are the ones that mixed in, and some like look how they look. All right. Look how they look. Herman DeSantos already told you what the people looked like in what's the name? They did not describe people who was Mongoloids. All right. Now check this out. We're gonna move on. All right. So them the Seminoles today. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me just put in black Seminoles. Because why would they have black Seminoles? Oh, the Seminoles that's black. Oh, they was runaway slaves or whatever. Not telling you that they was originally the Creek that was enslaved because they didn't want to leave their land. All right. Now look. You see this? Now I say black Seminole and Gawler, all right, because the Gawler, remember the Creek and the Gawler and the Geechee is somewhat related to the Creek, all right. For some reason they somewhat related, or whatever, or they came out of different tribes, all right. Give me a second. All right, they came out of different tribes. Right now, look, let me see something. Alright, so, alright, now this is the image right here. I always run across them. I always say black Indians, right? Let's see this one. Nah, that was the ones in Massachusetts. Alright, now look. Now they saying that these is Seminoles in Texas. Alright, now look at these jokers. Do these jokers look anything like the people I just showed you? So where these guys came from? Oh, they were slaves. But remember, just while I'm using that word slave doesn't mean that they